I don't know if you've ever done something dumb or stupid, or even perhaps something that's been hurtful to others and maybe therefore also to yourself, and you feel like wanting the ground to swallow you up or wanting to run away from the whole situation to escape the consequences because perhaps other people are feeling upset with you. Well, I know I've been there myself. And that, in a way, is the situation that Jacob found himself in. He was running away from home. He had done something stupid in deceiving his father and therefore, in a sense, stealing the birthright or the inheritance of the elder son, with all the sort of privileges and responsibilities that that carried. But and Esau, his twin brother, who was just older by a few minutes, incidentally, and whose right it was extremely upset and angry with Jacob. Mind you, Esau himself hadn't really covered himself in glory because he had given that birthright away to Jacob, who had taken advantage of him coming back from a hunting trip when he was ravenously hungry and saw the delicious lentil stew or dal or whatever that he was cooking, and Jacob said, "Well, I'll give it to you if you sell me your birthright." Well, that was a silly thing to do, wasn't it? But there we are. Anyway, when Esau realizes what has happened, he's furious and threatens to kill his twin brother even. And so Rebecca, whose favorite son was all the time was Jacob, says to Jacob, "Look, you've got to leave this place and go back to your uncle in Haran and then wait until your brother's anger has died down." Thankfully, we know that the story had a happy ending, but that's another thing. The point is that as he steps out, maybe the first night of his journey, and he lays his head down to sleep, he has this dream we've just read about, this dream about the ladder going up to heaven, with the angels going up and down, and he hears Yahweh, the voice of Yahweh, the God who identifies himself as Yahweh in the original, the God of his forefather Abraham and his father Isaac. So God has never left him. God's with us wherever we run away to. And in fact, there's a very wonderful thing here because God always seems to choose the least likely candidates, the imperfect ones to do his will. And God seems to delight in doing that. This is grace. This is God showing that nothing that you do will ever turn me away from you. I'm always be on your side. I will always be supporting you, and I've got plans for you. My plans don't change, but perhaps you do need to change in order for the plans to be fulfilled. So that's the grace of God. And then the second thing to say about this is that whereas Jacob may not have known this, but today we know that when we dream these incredible dreams, if we ever are aware of them and wake up and remember them, they're more often about ourselves and some truth about ourselves than some truth about another person or even God out there. And I think that the dream is telling Jacob and telling us too that there is always this deep connection between our original true self and the divine part of our true essential nature and the person and the person that we are on the outside, the earthly manifestation of who we are. And so that's a wonderful thing to know as we go forward in life, that connection is there. But we lose a sense, we've lost a memory of it, and it is because we've lost the realization, the awakeness, the awareness of that truth, that we often try and find ways to get back there, to have what is right, what is ours, as it were, truly ours. But we try and do it for ourselves, and that's where we get into trouble. That's where Jacob got into trouble too. So I'll leave you with these thoughts for the time being. Let's go on and read the psalm. And the psalm is also, and it could easily have been written by Jacob, or by somebody in Jacob's situation. It wasn't, but it links very well. So let's hear what the psalmist has to say in Psalm 139.